and then her walkie went off, and I heard that someone was creeping around an abandoned building. I didn't really need the skeezy professor to tell me it was you. Max, you're kind of staring a lot.
Sorry, I think I might be in shock.
Sure. Blast from the past and all.
She said it so naturally. Like she had no idea how insane it sounded. Like she'd never died.
Max, we have a lot to catch up on. But I've been awake since Indianapolis.
Of course. Take my bed. We'll talk in the morning.
Thank you for understanding.
I'm not sure I understand anything right now. But I'm glad you're here. Come on, the bedroom's upstairs.
Thanks.
I spent all night thinking of explanations. It was a dream, a hallucination. It was Sophie playing the world's sickest prank. But it's her, in 1,000 little ways. In every way.
You gonna sit there all night?
Just resting my legs. It's been a long, strange day. I'll tell you about it in the... She didn't vanish overnight. I can let her out of my sight for a minute or two. So, Max, what's it gonna take to get ready for the strangest conversation of your life? I don't know what to say to Chloe when she wakes up, but I can guess that she will be cold, hungry, and in need of coffee.
All right, let's start by taking a look around Max's place because it's an amazing place. Also, do we think that Chloe is going to recognize Max's fireplace from the horrible place, as she put it? And I definitely want to look into the journal and stuff, but let's look around first.
If you stay in one place long enough, restaurants learn your birthday. Cute or creepy?
I'm just taking it all in, including the fact that it's another example of Maxine. Let's go with she has really softened on this over the years. Either that or I'm misremembering her adherence to only ever Max.
Where did she come from? Literally, metaphysically. I'll take any answers I can get.
Yeah, so I really want to talk about this. I just want to find a break in the story.
I bought these in a panic when I started teaching. Sometimes great art is the best mentor.
Can we see anything on these? Oh, they're upside down, which is going to be awful, and in the sun. That's just film photography. It's always fun to see like who the authors and stuff are. Like, wasn't it Double Exposure where like every single author was named after like a game writer, a game critic? It was so interesting.
Moses collected a few weird artifacts from the merge. He thinks they're fascinating. I think they're horrifying.
I also think this is fascinating because look at the picture underneath. It's half Sophie, half Krampus. Celebration of life for Caledon students and faculties. Join us as we mourn the loss of Safia Llewellyn Fayyad. Friday, December 15th at 4 p.m. in the Administration Library. In lieu of flowers, donations will be raised for the Granite Hearts Mental Health Clinic. At the event, we accept the following items. Themed drinks, snacks, gingerbread contest, board games at 7 p.m., Krampus roast at 8. Sound like fun? Then head to the Snapping Turtle for Krampus on Krampus. Time to get naughty or nice, we won't judge. I think that's amazing. I get that that's more traumatic for Max, but I think it's really cool.
Moses says this telescope is an embarrassment, but it helps me look at birds on the lake just fine.
Yeah, but Moses has a huge university grant to get his telescope together. And Max has superpowers to undo his telescope, so there.
Maybe if I thaw out my body, my mind will follow. I know I'm very anti-fire right now, but the place is freezing. If I hadn't been there last night, would Loretta be here now?
Loretta writes, Max, I just got home. I don't even know what to think. First of all, thank you. If you hadn't stayed so calm, I don't know what would have happened to us. I was very not calm, by the way. I was questioned by the police and questioned them in turn until I took my recorder. I'm in trouble for trespassing, but the proof I uncovered was worth it. It looks like proofy. Lakeport County Court ordered a stay of demolition a week ago. What happened last night was illegal. Somebody wants that building to come down, and they're willing to break the law to make it happen. I'm going to confront President Teller today. I think you and I both deserve some answers.
Diamond is worried about Sophie? I haven't heard from either of them in months. They were off together?
I would put money on the fact that we're going to see Diamond again at some point. I will be very interested, as I said in the last episode, if we get another, some more of Gwen Hunter, because Diamond, I just find it interesting. Like I did see the post-credit sequence with Diamond. That's why I feel very strong that she's going to be back. I will repeat again, it always bothered me how things went down with Dr. Gwen Hunter, because there was no way for her to clear her name, and she didn't do anything, and that really bothered me. Gwen Hunter was kind of an asshole, and also an asshole who cared deeply about her students, did a lot of personal coaching for Maya Okada, and was willing to help Max up to a point until she started to feel like her personal decisions and privacy were not being respected. So, like, I get it. Like, I get all of those things, and I really like Gwen Hunter, and it bothered me that within the bounds of that story, there was no realistic way to undo that footage of her, like, trading drugs to students. So I really hope that in the post-merge amnesia, we get some sort of follow-up, and she's back at the college and working. Max, sorry I haven't responded to your text. I know you want to know about my trip and what's going on with my I don't know, by the way, but we need to talk about Safi. From what she's told me, you know about her little secret. So Safi has been shape-shifting, like, a lot. 8 months ago, it was an occasional thing, but then it was a whole day or weekend as some random person, like she was trying to be anybody but herself. We stopped in a town a few months ago, and Safi hit it off with a girl named Ivy. I thought we might slow down for a bit, but then they had a fight. When we hit the road again, Safi started living as Ivy full-time. So weird. We had a bit of a falling out last month, and I think she might be headed back to Caledon. I don't know what she wants, but keep an eye out. She's not in a good place right now, signed Diamond. The way that I process stories like this, I'm always like, is it conceivable that Diamond is misrepresenting that they had a fallout in order to give Max a tip-off of something that she's likely to already know? It's because Safi kind of announced herself to a fairly decent extent. Maybe Diamond would have known that, but it just doesn't feel like that. I think that Diamond is legitimately trying to give Max a heads up.
What's going on, Safi? How do I help you?
I was wondering who that was. Looks like that's Ivy. I would have been so happy if her name had been Mary Beth. Okay, before we make the coffee, let's do... Well, hold on. There's probably a couple other things to take a look around out here. You guys, Max Caulfield, like, shooting a gun at people is just... It never stops being shocking.
Hazel's a great agent, and she put so much work into this weekend. I hope she eventually forgives me.
Max, I got prints of all your favorites and a couple of mine as well. Have a look and bring 3 to 4 with you this weekend. I'll see you at the hotel at 9 a.m. with a schedule for the day. Don't stress about it. Just take one terrifying encounter... Just take it one terrifying encounter at a time. See you soon, Hazel. She does seem like she's very supportive and successful. What's interesting to me is that we haven't heard from Max very much about what the original version of events was when she went to this big, like, gallery showing. It was implied to have gone very well, and I get that this is more important, but Max is still giving up a lot to do this, and she should. and I get it, and that's her morality, she's still giving up a lot.
It's my birthday. Again. Is Chloe's return some kind of birthday wish come true? No, that's crazy.
Happy birthday, Max. Hope your gallery weekend is a huge success. Don't forget to take some time to celebrate. And think about a Christmas offer. We'd love to have you in Oregon, but are happy to come to you if that's easier. Neither of us has seen a white Christmas in decades. We're so proud of you, honey. You've built a beautiful life for yourself. Love, Mom and Dad. Max's inability to, like, connect with her parents makes me kind of sad. Plate. Probably, yes, but...
Hey, Chloe. Welcome back from the great beyond. Here's a muffin. Wakey, wakey.
Okay, before we make the coffee, I do want to look at the journal. Reggie's a good kid, but he's a terrible liar. He seemed a little on edge in the last week. I feel like we've already read this one. Yes, we did. I haven't seen her since that morning at the Overlook. She was so certain she knew what to do next. Find other people with powers, and I don't know. I'm not even sure she knew. I couldn't support her. I've learned the hard way that my powers can't solve everything. I'm afraid of what will happen if she doesn't learn that fast enough. I hope she'll forgive me for telling her mom she's here. After all, Yasmin is as worried about Safi as I am, but honestly, the cowardly part of me just hopes that Safi doesn't find out. So, here's the thing. She's more worried about her than Max is. Like, it's her daughter. Like, that's what that was about. Secondly, and I'm just saying, I did not get the sense that Safi was struggling whether or not her powers were going to fix things. She was talking as though she wanted to use her powers to do whatever she wanted, free of consequence. That's what really troubled me about it. Holy shit, it's 4:02 a.m. I haven't slept. I'm writing this to help me stay awake. She's here. She's sleeping on my bed, likely drooling on my pillow right now. Chloe, my best friend, for as long as I can remember, up until the second the gun fired. The first stage of grief is denial. The first stage of whatever this is also denial. This can't be happening, but I keep looking over to the bed and... Chloe Elizabeth Price is here. Maybe if I keep writing it down, it won't sound so insane. She's dead. She's been dead. I heard her get shot. I stood by her casket. I spent years mourning her. I know she's dead. So why is she snoring right now? She looked exhausted. She mentioned Indianapolis. How far did she drive in order to make her big entrance and whisk me away from the Abrax? I fell asleep. I fell asleep. I'm going to put this journal away, but I can't sleep. Not yet. Not until the world starts making sense again. Having actually dozed off like that quickly, I get it. It would have been more appropriate if the X sort of trailed off there. But so very briefly, and then we'll continue on. We'll talk more about this maybe at the end of like the next section. I'm really liking how they've done this. When the premise of Life is Strange Reunion was announced, it was basically impossible not to know that Chloe was going to be in it, and it turns out that that's not really a spoiler because she's actually the first character that you see in the entire game and the first character that you control. So that's fine. Based on the premise, I came into this interested to see if this would all come off as some sort of cheap fan fiction for people who are just like huge Pricefield fans. I know there's a lot of people that are big fans of this relationship and that they would really like to see more Max and Chloe. And I wasn't sure how that could ever be accomplished, given that at least 50% of the player base did not make that particular choice. So how would you do a story like that? And like, it's fine if it's like a different thing. And what's impressive to me is that I feel like they found a really great way to thread the needle, because where my version of events was one in which Chloe Price did not survive, I feel like this story so far is entirely understanding and recognizing that. Like, it seems completely on board with the fact that this is unfamiliar to Max, and I really like that. Maybe we'll talk more about it later. Let's check out the text messages. Caledon alert. Campus security alert. Reminder, the Fremont Street section of Lakeport is currently closed to all university personnel. Any student found trespassing will be subject to disciplinary action. Also, very quickly, when we were going into Fremont House, I made a quick comment about I don't really understand what the jurisdiction is that President Teller has to close down Abraxas House. Like, it's off-campus housing. I just wanted to say very quickly, I am aware that the university is making an offer to buy that land, but I was under the impression that it hadn't actually gone through. Maybe it has, and maybe that's the part that I was overlooking, that they want to buy it more than what they've got, but maybe they already have that section of Fremont Street. So apologies if that was confusing, because I am following along that they want to greatly expand the campus. Here's Diamond. Max had written, hey, how's life on the road? Everything okay? Would love to hear from you. Call me sometime. Hey, I'm at the Abraxas house. You used to live here, right? There's some pretty sketchy stuff going on. I'm worried about Abraxas and the school, not to mention you. Please call me soon. I'm going to assume that Max texted this on the way into the house. Maybe I didn't read it at the time, because I don't know once she hit that basement, when she would have had time between the immediately encountering Loretta and then not getting blown up. I'm not sure when she would have tapped out all these texts. Here's Moses. Let's go up a little bit. Butterfly with very big wings, rather. Okay, here we go. I think we're here. Okay, one mystery solved, writes Max. The Fremont house where the fire started is the Abraxas house. Apparently, the administration is trying to demolish it as part of President Teller's expansion plans. Moses says that's interesting and alarming. Maybe tomorrow we can head over there and investigate it. Max says I'm here right now. Moses says should have guessed, but stay safe. You don't have to get reckless. We still have time. Max says maybe, but I couldn't wait. I'll let you know what I find. Then I heard from Diamond. Moses says, whoa, how is she? Max says, I think she's okay. I think, okay. Maybe a bit confused. She's worried about Safi. I don't think their trip turned out how either of them wanted. Moses says, damn, I've been reaching out to her. I'll reach out again. I'm glad that she's okay. And Max says, me too. Very quickly, Diamond has this, you're probably wondering how I'm doing with my It is very, very heavily implied at the end of Double Exposure that Diamond has some sort of power. Maybe she's the genesis of those snowflowers that bloomed in the exact shape of where Safi's body had been found. I don't know. Even that is just supposition. So until we get more information, we know that something's going on with Diamond. Maybe Max knows more, but I don't know. Here comes Safi. Wait, there's a lot. Whoa, hold on. Okay, so we're up through, that's what you told me on the Overlook. Safi says, I've been thinking, of all the students in the quad, you chose her, me. How? Could you tell somehow? Max writes back, Safi, no, I don't know. I was as surprised as you were. Why do you have to hide? I want to see you for real. Safi asks why, so you can expose me to everybody, not just my mom? Max writes, I miss you. Safi writes, I'll be around. Next time, I might not be so easy to spot. Max wants to know, are you ready to talk yet? It's important. Safi says, I think so. I have some pressing matters to explore first, of the administration variety. Max writes, what do you mean? Something with your mom? Safi says, you'll see soon enough, darling. Don't go stressing your pretty little head. Max writes, please stop. I can't handle more bad Southern accent. Safi writes, bad? I worked in that accent for weeks. It's extremely authentic. And Max writes, if you say so. I like the fact that they can still banter back and forth a little bit, even if they are not really in a great place.
Guess I'm checking in with Vin this afternoon. I wonder if this is about the Abraxas house.
Okay, so at last check, Vin had wanted a black and white cookie from New York. Then he writes, I would like to formally request a meeting with you this afternoon to discuss an important matter. Your attendance is mandatory. Max writes back, can the request be mandatory? Vin says, if you don't accept my request, I'm mandated to be pissed off about it. It's pretty simple. Max wants to know if he'll give a clue about what it's about, and Vin says, not in the slightest. I'll be in the president's office. See you there. If I was Max, I would not want to go to the president's office. Especially, I wouldn't want to be lurking around. Let me just go back. Okay, here we go. Yasmin says, I was very glad to run into you earlier, and I'm particularly glad that you told me about Safi. I know it was not easy to betray her confidence, but it is a great comfort to me to know that she is near. Max says I'm glad, but I'm still worried about her. Yasmin says me too. I hope to see you around much more, and do not worry about President Teller. I'm actively making sure that he does not overstep his bounds. Max writes it's a relief to have you back. I said it at the time, it really was not about Max's job. I learned in the very first Life is Strange to never make a decision out of fear. Like, that was a big mistake that I made in that game, and it wasn't the Chloe one. With Yasmin, it was about there's a woman here who's afraid for her daughter. Like, that's hard to take. So there we go. Let's make coffee.
I have no idea how to handle the next hour, but this is a start. Yikes. I didn't even notice where we parked last night. Better move it. But where did she leave her keys?
Well, that's a fantastic question. We can... Oh, you know what? Maybe in her bag? Maybe she just, like, threw them in here?
She rifled through this before she went upstairs. Maybe she dropped her keys inside. It's not snooping if it's Chloe, right?
Drop dead gorgeous Chloe. Hold on, can we look at the map?
Flannel, band tees, and artfully ripped tank tops. Classic Chloe. She certainly didn't stop by because she was in the neighborhood.
Sorry, I'm just reading through a bunch of tour dates, basically. Locations and tour dates. And some really... At some point, Life is Strange has to have a character who's a bad artist, is all I'm saying.
I wanted to ask her 1,000 questions, but she barely had the energy to get upstairs. Chloe's a band manager? In a weekend full of surprises? I guess that's the least surprising.
She probably remembers to keep her vehicle in park, make sure that nobody kicks it into neutral on her. Call Eddie's crossed off, order more shirts, look up what's illegal in Utah, look at the contract language, lateness loopholes. All right, and that's what we've got. And then various designs for drugstore makeup.
There you are.
All right. Just wanted to see if we would get anything. Oh, she's got a Puerto... Right. She found that. She immediately put the keychain to use, I'm just noticing. I feel like I need to not snoop, but also I just want to hear the band's shirts.
This design must be Chloe's handiwork. Her doodles have gotten a lot more polished ever since.
I legitimately don't like going through other people's things. In an adventure game...
Max. Somebody did well for herself. How did Max wind up in the world's bougiest log cabin? What the?
Max is so good at leaving incriminating photographs around. It's not really incriminating, it's just... Yes, Safi.
That was the girl at the bar last night. Max thinks her name is Sophie? Coffee. She's awake.
Oh, in
What's the connection with this Sophie person and Max?
In the alternative, I think that Chloe would rifle through absolutely everything. I don't think she'd steal anything. I really don't, not from a friend, but I think that she'd want to look at everything.
What? Did she not have enough artsy hipster cred already? Tweecore, acoustic chill, and lots of indie rock. Classic Max. This is from that film festival in Boise. 2 days of movies that made me want to claw my eyes out, but she never stopped smiling.
Twist the Knife Counterclockwise is the name of the movie.
She told me to take the bed and then pretended to go downstairs. But when I peeked later on, she was definitely still watching me. Wait, is it Saturday? I showed up on Max's birthday. But why is she here and not on this trip?
Machine Angel Marathon with Moses. Oh, right, when he was really down. And then call with mom. So she does talk to her parents.
I've been avoiding mirrors for days. I probably look as crazy as I sound. Not bad for a girl who never finished high school.
Just taking note here that Chloe knows that Max didn't finish high school, a fact that even I wasn't really aware of until Max dropped that as a line about having imposter syndrome. Instructor Maxine Caulfield. Purpose of the course, students will learn the introductory principles of photography and the basics of how to operate a camera, both digital and analog. We'll also work together to discover each student's personal artistic style. Objectives of the course. How is this different from purpose of the course? I tried to skip it, but apparently it's a required line. Was this a draft or did she actually put this up? And then basically some stages, some lessons that they're going to go through.
It's been years. What has she been up to?
Let's look at me last.
Her life is so full now. Max knows the woman from the lighthouse? And her name is also Sophie? What the hell?
I think this might have been the exact picture that I chose for the memorial. Wait, hold on.
This place is so beautiful. It makes me want to throw up. If Max was gonna try and replace me with someone, I'm glad it was a dog. Now she can talk about f-stops and shutter speeds to her heart's content. Is she moving out of her urban decay phase? What's next in the Max Caulfield oeuvre? She's photographed everything under the sun, but she's saving space for more. God, this girl.
Apparently we're not going to get to look at that multicolored building, but that was, I think, observable in the previous game. I really like that picture.
At least I still get a spot on the life mosaic. Max has a whole new life here. Maybe I shouldn't have come. Come on. It'll be okay. It's Max.
She still drives like a teenager. Some things never...
Trying to steal my truck?
just joyriding it to a parking space.
How long has it been? A year? A decade? I'm not really sure anymore.
It is so incredibly good to see you, Chloe.
Don't get excited. I come bearing baggage. And before you say anything, I know I should have called first. I just figured I'd know what the fuck to say when I was looking at you.
Okay. The floor is yours.
In some sequences, you can pick choices for both Max and Chloe, shaping the direction of their relationship. Oh, I have no idea how to feel about this. It's kind of incredible how evocative this is. I'm trying to think of the right word to have them back together and under these circumstances. And just very quickly, I chose the "it's good to see you" because I chose the option that I think that Max would most want to express. Second, just narrowly edging out, "how are you here?" Because I think that she would have picked up on the fact that Chloe doesn't know. She came here from Indianapolis, not heaven, right? Like, so I very much want to get to that. I want them to have that conversation, but wouldn't Max first want to say, "It is so good to see you"?
Lately, I keep getting these, I don't know, visions. It's been happening for a minute, but they're getting worse. It seemed like maybe some time fuckery took place, so I figured I'd come ask the time fucker herself.
What kind of visions?
The icon above your choice indicates who is making the choice. Max on the left, Chloe on the right. So we are currently Chloe.
A tumble dryer of madness? It's like an acid trip, except I didn't even get to take acid. And lately, I keep seeing this dark-haired woman, who just so happens to be on your photo wall. Who's Safi?
I'm sorry, I'm just trying to understand what is happening right now.
Me too, Max. Glad we're on the same page here.
Sophie and I were friends once.
And who's the friend on your dresser? Your second friend named Safi?
This is gonna sound crazy, but it's the same person. Sophie can shapeshift.
So this place is... what? Like some freaky power academy?
No, not at all. It's a coincidence, as far as I know.
God, never a dull fucking moment with you. Any idea why your friend is in my dreamscape? Or is that a coincidence too?
I'm not sure. What else do you see in your visions besides her?
Me? Dying on the Blackwell bathroom floor. I know it's not real, but it feels so... And when I met your friend last night, she looked at me like she'd seen a ghost. I know you saved me, but I'm starting to wonder if maybe you didn't. Did I die?
I saved you. Then, when the storm came, you asked me to go back and undo it. You saved Arcadia Bay when you died a decade ago.
should be dead. Why am I not dead? Am I a ghost?
Of course not.
Well, I'm not a fucking living person, that much is clear. Hold on. I remember everything that happened after that. We spent years on the road together. Didn't we?
I spent years on the road, but I was alone. I know this is weird, but what if your memories are what would have happened if you lived? Or what did happen, just to some other version of us? Talk to me. How are you feeling?
I feel like my brain is discovering whole new ways to be insane. I might not be good company right now.
I thought I'd never see you again. Be as crazy as you want. I'm not going anywhere.
But what the hell happened? How am I here right now?
Let's back up. When did the visions start? Was it just before Christmas?
How did you know that?
Because last December, my friend Sophie lost control of her powers. She had sort of a mental breakdown.
I heard someone's voice begging you to shoot her. Did you?
No, not this time. I mean, it's complicated, but no. For a while, there were two separate realities. One where Sophie was alive, one where she was dead. I managed to merge them back together. But maybe I merged more than that? It's only a theory. We should talk to my friend Moses. He's been studying my powers. He'll want to hear about your visions.
This is so strange. I have this brain full of memories of our time on the road together, but it's not even us.
That's incredible. What was it like?
We had a lot of good years together. Then, my memory's fuzzy, but you were depressed, guilty about Arcadia Bay.
Can't imagine. Having one death on my conscience was bad enough.
So wait, even the week we spent together in high school didn't happen. I was already dead.
I guess not.
Oh, this is great. My best friend abandons me, and I have a decade-long hallucination of a friend who didn't.
That week, at the junkyard, on the train tracks, it was the best and worst week of my life. I'm so glad you remember it too.
Yeah. But who the hell did it happen to? Not me. I feel so weird. There's so much I don't know, and half of what I do know isn't real.
Well, maybe I can catch you up. I can tell you how reality worked for me, at least.
Oh, I don't know. I'd like to dial it down a little bit between them.
What was the funeral like?
Beautiful. Filled with people who loved you. You would have hated it.
This is some Tom Sawyer shit. but without the sick drum solo.
I'm sorry, Chloe. What can I do?
Max, I don't need you to do anything. I'm not some problem for you to solve.
Professor Caulfield, it's security.
What are you doing? Don't answer!
We're adults. We don't need to hide from the security guard anymore.
Max? Max?
Good morning, Professor. Did you park your car near the Abraxas house last night?
Yes. I was planning on getting some exterior shots, but when the police arrived, the area seemed a little off limits.
Well, you need to move it. That area is not safe.
Oh, okay. Bummer.
And keep an eye out. I broke up a bar fight last night. And I believe the perpetrator is trying to use false pretenses to gain access to Caledon.
Well, if that's everything, I should get back to my dark room.
Have a good weekend.
You're the worst. Did you get in a fight last night?
You shove one townie and suddenly you're a danger to the school. So, catch me up on you. What did Max Caulfield do after she saved a town?
Ran away from it as fast as I could. Your mom gave me your truck. I went to all the places you and Rachel had wanted to go. I drove until the hole in my chest started to scab over. And I took photos of empty buildings, so other people could see what the hole looked like. At some point, I accidentally became a semi-famous photographer. Last year, I came here as a visiting artist, and now I'm a teacher.
And you've been here for what, a year? Make any friends? Date any babes?
I did get close to someone. You'd like her. She's a bartender in town.
What? The girl with the Princess Leia buns? I met her. She's cute. So what happened?
She had issues with my powers. It wasn't her fault. I'm a lot to handle.
Not that I wasn't happy to do it, but want to tell me why I saved your ass from a demolition site?
Only if you're ready for more time fuckery. If I don't do something to stop it, the whole school will be on fire by tomorrow night.
Okay, so what does future Max think caused it?
I think it was deliberate. Someone wants to burn down that house. Or maybe they want to burn the whole school. I don't know. My friends, my students, they're in danger. And right now, I don't know enough to do anything about it.
And you're sure you want to do something? Not worried about causing a storm?
I'm terrified of it. But I understand my powers better now. And I can't just sit back when I have a chance to save everyone. That house belongs to Abraxas, Caledon's secret society. And our president has a weird interest in it. I have questions for both.
That Moses guy you mentioned, do you think he'd be willing to meet with me?
I think he'd give his favorite telescope to meet with you. He should be in his office now. I'll take you.
Hey, how are you feeling about me being here with all this going on?
I didn't know I could feel this happy. You invented a whole new emotion for me.
Wow. You're welcome.
Your visions, the fire. We'll figure it all out. I'm just so glad you're here.
Well, good. I guess I'll stick around. Dude, is that what I think it is? You assholes have your own observatory? Oh, okay. I know we have a fire and an existential crisis to solve, but I am definitely breaking in there tonight. Ruth to Max. You good?
Sorry. I just still can't believe it. You're really here.
Listen, if I'm gonna feel okay about being here with everything you have going on, I don't want to be weighing you down.
You're not.
Good. Then let's split up. I'll go up to the Science Palace and meet your friend while you go focus on the firefuckers.
I don't think Max would want to let Chloe away from her. I mean, it's going to happen eventually, but...
No, I'll walk you there.
Max, I've navigated stairs before. Go. Get some answers. I'll call you soon.
Chloe!
I'm okay, you goober. Now go.
Good luck. She must have come looking for me, and I wasn't here. She found Moses and she... But I'm here now. And this time, I will make sure nothing happens to her. Hard to think about anything besides Chloe at the moment. But if I want her to remain alive, I need to start finding answers now.
Where can I dig up more information on Abraxas? Maybe I can find someone to help me.
So we do want to go to the president's office, but I want to see what else we can look at. I just super quickly, I always thought it was something of a narrative misstep that after it was demonstrated that Safi had powers, that when Max and Safi were talking, it cuts to the end of that conversation, that we don't get the Safi waking up from having been in the lake and them broaching the subject. I would have wanted to see all of it. And yeah, there's something to be said for pacing to just like skip to the end of it. But I'm just going to say that I really like the fact that we got to have that whole conversation. Chloe's already messages us. And yes, I want to read that as well.
Ugh, the Caledon rebrand is beginning.
When a slogan feels like a personal attack.
It's better than wait till you see what we have in store for you.
Can I put my International Photography Award in here? Maybe we get Owen to take me seriously.
Oh, look, there's Loretta. We will talk with her in a second.
Abraxas is really going to war with the administration.
Not sure who's winning.
Well, the administration is going to win that fight, but after the events of Labor Day weekend, this door will remain locked every Friday until 5 p.m., at 5 p.m. until Monday at 8 a.m. While school spirit is an admirable quality and the Abraxas Society logo does contain a rooster, the Society is reminded that roosters are not pranks and they're living creatures that did not enjoy being sequestered in the mailroom. No, that's actually extremely cruel and does not improve my opinion of Abraxas, which is super low. We will check in with Loretta in just a second. See if there's any books that we can jimmy out of locked cabinets. And I just also wanted to say, during the moments in time when the conversation got kind of tense between them, one thing that I'm bearing in mind is, hold on.
Learning through osmosis. Not a well-respected field, but the early research is promising.
Chloe came here because she's already emotionally distraught over these increasingly intense nightmares and the powerful feeling that she is not supposed to be here. And now she's gotten confirmation of that, or is in the process of getting confirmation of that, from somebody that she felt left her behind and betrayed her in the version of events that Chloe left. So for things to sort of like spark off kind of unexpectedly and suddenly, I get it.
Did someone vandalize this plaque? Or are they trying to add to Gretchen's list of accomplishments?
So we do have an Abraxas logo up there at the top left. Member of the Caledon University's first co-ed class, Gretchen pioneered the Caledon Women's Equality League, the Caledon Caller, and other initiatives that continue making Caledon a great place for students to this day. If somebody did that freehand with a knife, we need to get that person a scholarship, because that's some real good etching, especially if you're trying to do it quietly and without other people noticing. They probably broke in the middle of the night.
I hope Loretta learned something from her brush with disaster last night, but I doubt it.
Good morning. Okay. Promise is a promise.
What happened last night was terrifying. I hope you're taking care of yourself.
Thank you. How are you doing?
Question 1. What is your connection to the Abraxas Society?
I don't have one. Some of my students are members, but I'm not.
Then why were you in their basement last night?
Abraxas is good at keeping secrets. I don't know if any of those secrets are dangerous, but I want to find out.
Question 2. Should students be concerned about an unchecked secret society running?
Loretta. My turn. How are you doing?
I'm coping, honestly. I think it would help me get some closure if I understood what happened last night.
I respect the need for closure and for answers.
I swear, Max, there's something weird about this. Abraxas is hiding something. Nobody's been able to take them on, ever. The Caledon Crier has been publishing for 60 years. You know what's in their archives? Puff pieces on how Abraxas throws the best parties. I've searched Abraxas and every other creepy occult word I could think of. Nothing of substance.
I'll make you a deal. In lieu of any more grilling, how about I find you some more search terms? Then we can pool our research.
I'll consider it.
Abraxas has a lot of secrets. It's time somebody cracked them.
Loretta is so good at making a good second impression, with the first one being a lot of opportunity to build up from. Rituals and relics in modern life. Is it just gonna be the title?
If a bunch of rowdy Abraxans start building a bonfire, it could get bad fast.
All right, I don't know if we want to read this whole thing. Fire's most beautiful and dangerous element, destructive potential, but can also represent new beginnings. It reminds the modern witch that she contains enormous power, which can turn dangerous. If you want to incorporate fire into your practice... Oh, so this is like a book of witchcraft, like for witches. Bonfire rituals are especially potent when combined with spells of banishment or forgetting. Plagued with thoughts of an ex, what better way to move forward than by taking an old love letter or photo and consigning it to the flames? All right, and just to be sure, there's nothing up and down, because remember that we found the name of the character on the base when we were inspecting Moses' lab.
I always thought Abraxas was creepy, but at least it's the least creepy rooster-reptile hybrid.
In the mythological bestiary, a surprising number of creatures come from very unlikely pairings, that of roosters and reptiles. The list below is not even an exhaustive one. See Chapter 9 Local Legends for information on the Snallygaster. Snallygaster? Oh, I'm very slow on the uptake. What two buildings are those? Buildings. What two animals are those? A snail and an alligator? I have no idea, but we'll move on. There's a basilisk, Abraxas. Oh, Abraxas is a creature. I legitimately did not know this. Head of a rooster, body of a man, serpents for legs. Differing accounts, either Egyptian god or demon. Name is said to have magical meaning, maybe a shortened form of abracadabra. Historical associations with time, destiny, and balance. For as long as I played Double Exposure, I thought Abraxas might be an extremely subtle reference to a character from The Longest Journey, which had a character, like there was a character in there that I think was straight named Abraxas, if I'm remembering correctly. It's been a minute since I played that game, but since it never really came up, I never mentioned it. I've heard of basilisks and I've heard of cockatrices. I've never heard of Abraxas as a creature before. Interesting little detail there. This is me learning. All right, nothing else around here. Also, and not to metagame this very much, but do you think that there does exist a character model of Loretta who is not wearing that hat? History of the Occult.
Vin adores Jack Parsons. I wonder if it's an Abraxas thing or a Vin thing.
Yeah, he was like the magician or somebody, wasn't he, in the first game, Jack Parsons? Few people achieve the levels of fame and notoriety that Jack Parsons did, and he managed to achieve it twice over, both as a brilliant rocket scientist and as an influential occultist, so not a magician then. Born October 2nd, 1914, Parsons was a daring, some might say reckless engineer who died on June 17th, 1952 at the tragic age of 37 after an explosion in his home laboratory. Between his work with Aleister Crowley and L. Ron Hubbard, before Hubbard swindled him, and his contributions to the American counterculture movement, Parsons left an indelible mark. Some even credit him with our culture's growing interest in neo-paganism. Parsons is rightly seen as a pioneer in the aerospace industry, but his legacy is incomplete without an accounting of his contributions to modern occult practices. In all aspects of life, he worked tirelessly to pierce the veil between the known and the great unknown. All right, and then we'll check this. We've already looked at this. All right. I can just envision that on the great list of things that they wanted to do for the sequel, like if they're going to have a different season, a different year, to, you know, have updated character models for all of the characters. And when we first saw Loretta in her winter hat, I thought to myself, oh, well, maybe it is a particularly brisk day. She's colder than apparently everybody else, and now we're inside. It just seems a little bit hatty in here. Well, Bonfire Wait, do we want to go with is bonfire like the correct answer? Because I kind of want to hear what the rest of these things are.
Try Jack Parsons.
One article. Already read this one. I told you. Puff pieces.
When I heard about Diamond,
I know. That's when I really started digging into Abraxas.
So we might learn, I'm glad I said this then, because I want to learn anything about the circumstances under which Diamond left. The Abraxas Society is reeling from the sudden departure of their president, Diamond Washington, after only one semester in power. Abraxans were surprised to discover that the president's quarters were vacant on Monday morning, 2 weeks before the end of the semester. Washington left behind a note saying that she was leaving school and resigning from the presidency, but did not offer any explanations. Abraxas is currently scheduling an emergency election for the presidency, and some members are wondering if the group is in trouble. However, Vin Lang, the previous president, thinks the society has a bright future. Listen, being the president is hard, but it's not go off the grid hard, Lang said. When I got to Caledon, I was a gawky theater kid with a crush on Jack Parsons. Abraxas was a beautiful refuge from the stress of college, and its members have gone on to do many great things in many industries. Lang himself may be proof of Abraxas's magic touch. He recently celebrated a promotion to the Director of Administration at Caledon and was just named the first ever recipient of the school's Regent Chair grant, which will allow him to pursue an MBA.
look for Gretchen Kostov.
The founder of the newspaper? There's gonna be a lot. Okay. Several articles written by her, a few reviews of her films, and...
The Abraxas Society wasn't always the Abraxas Society.
But it seems like the occultist stuff was there from the beginning.
So this is from 1979. The picture is Gretchen Kostov, the League's founder, on the porch of their Fremont Street headquarters in 1964. The article says, the Caledon Women's Equality League is changing their name next year. The group is inviting members to submit ideas for new names, which will be voted on in the upcoming semester. The League has already seen many changes in the last decade. Founder Gretchen Kostov had to fight an uphill battle, first when establishing the group and later when finding them housing off campus. At the time, according to Lakeport law, any house with two or more unrelated women living together was legally a brothel. Charming. Since setting up residency at 3180 Fremont Street, the group has hosted numerous anti-war protests and seasonal occult rituals. While members are tight-lipped about their ceremonies, several members have stated that the group is neither a cult nor a coven. The League started allowing male members last year, perhaps prompting this name change. Just, there's all sorts of, in the United States, all sorts of like antiquated, dead, on the books laws, like books, laws that were never repealed that are technically on the books but are never ever enforced. And I would like to think that, you know, no, if you have more than, what was it, more than two women in a house, unrelated, where was that? Two or more unrelated women. So literally, if there's I'm sorry, that's just, it's not even that they get to the number 3. 2 or more unrelated women is a brothel. That's, let's move on.
Can you try Bonfire?
A few Labor Day parties, a production of The Arsonists, and... Oh.
Look at the date. That's this weekend. Do they have an annual bonfire?
Ugh. They misspelled Abraxas. Amateurs.
I mean, it's a student newspaper. You're all amateurs.
Excuse you.
Sorry, hold on. It would have been enough to simply say that there are so many articles about Abraxas over the decades that this one didn't stand out and she didn't recognize it. The fact that they wrote in that there was a misspelling of Abraxas, which is why it didn't come up, I just really want to call that out. It's really cool. Bonfire at Secret Society House raises questions. This is 1997. A large bonfire at the Abraxas house got out of control and spread to the lawn on Saturday. The Lakeport Fire Department was called to 3180 Fremont Street after several neighbors noticed the smell of smoke. When the September, they could have just as easily thought it was just like jerks burning leaves. I'm just saying, When the fire department arrived, the flames were mostly extinguished. The society issued a statement this morning apologizing for the fire and assuring the community that no underage drinking took place. This brush with the police comes after the society had been implicated in several high-profile pranks and hosted last year's memorable Krampus party. Well, memorable for those of us who weren't taken to the ER for alcohol poisoning. Some students defend the society's antics, while others feel that Abraxas had strayed too far from its occult roots. I love that it's spelled wrong both times. It's a nice touch.
So, what do we know?
That Abraxas has been getting away with mayhem for decades. They could do anything to anyone, and we'd never know.
But the party wasn't on just any day. Is there something special about this weekend? I'll be right back.
The only thing is, when did Jack Parsons die? Because I remember that was a big thing in the previous
Vin
game.
adores Jack Parsons. I wonder if it's an Abraxas thing or a Vin thing.
No, that was June 17th. So maybe we do go ask Vin about it, because... Oh, wait. This is new.
3rd week of September. That's this week.
Mabon, or Mabon, the autumn equinox, in the northern hemisphere, I'm so sorry if I mispronounce this, Mabon occurs in the 3rd week of September and marks the first day of the autumn season. Sometimes called Witches' Thanksgiving, it's a day of harvest festivals and nature walks, as summer gives way to fall. It's a great time of year, it's really nice. Participants often hold feasts to celebrate nature's bounty or channel their creativity into autumnal arts and crafts. While Mabon is a moment when light and dark are in perfect balance, it's also a reminder that the easy days of summer are behind us. What will the coming winter bring, and what shadows will lurk in the lengthening dark? Yeah, the equinox, that I've heard of, just like the Mabon part of it.
Okay, try Mabon.
Oh, here we go. A masked Mabon party? And look, it's the same weekend as the other article. They must be prepping for another one tonight.
This is 84. I don't know exactly when the Satanic Panic was going on, but here's some dark magic at Caledon. Special investigation. Did you know that here on our very own campus, an occult society might be practicing dark arts? They've even been known to play Dungeons and Dragons. My God, they must be Satanists. This reporter won't name the group, who have threatened previous investigators with libel lawsuits, so that's, again, why it didn't come up in her Abraxas search. But I can exclusively report that last Saturday, a Mabon party took place off campus. Attendees wore masks and drank potions from engraved goblets. At midnight, an unknown ritual took place in the basement. This photograph was obtained from an anonymous source who was eager to convince me that Mabon isn't satanic, it just celebrates the cycle of death and rebirth, and that the rumors of human sacrifice are greatly exaggerated. The source ended the conversation after I asked whether their famed Hall of Secrets contains, as many have speculated, a portal to hell. He probably got dizzy from rolling his eyes. What, by the way, what is that in the lab? I feel like I should recognize what is in the person sitting on the left, what's in their lap. It's got an antenna, it's got like a loop on one side and then a bunch of buttons on the front, but I don't recognize that.
This is what we need. I just have to get my hands on a mask, and I could go anywhere, talk to anyone.
There won't be a party. We need to talk to Vin and shut it down.
Hold on. Think about this. I'll postpart one of my podcasts tonight, then we'll go and ask people about it. They'll spill their guts.
No way. It's too risky.
Risky how? You're still not telling me something, aren't you? I told the police I was in that basement alone. Now you're stonewalling me?
I'm telling you, I only have suspicions right now. If you're gonna blow this story wide open, you need solid proof.
That's what I'm saying. I'm out of leads. President Teller ignored my requests for a comment. Reggie says I'm crazy. Tonight is my last chance.
Okay. I have a responsibility to try and stop the party. But Abraxas has ways of getting around the authorities, so I don't know how much good it'll do. I know you want answers. I also know that if you go to the Abraxas house tonight, you'll be putting yourself in danger. Again. Promise me you won't do that.
I promise I will try to find the truth and not do anything stupid in the process. I'm sorry. That's the best I can do.
I could rewind and make Loretta forget the party is even happening. But is that a step too far?
Oh, let me think about that for a second. That, oh boy. On the one hand, my immediate reaction is that feels like it's really a violation of her trust that Max made a deal to work with her. I feel like having a second person that has information is also really important. Secondly, though, Loretta she hasn't learned any degree at all of pacing or what's the phrase that I'm thinking of? Like being a little bit hesitant, not hesitant, but like conservative, a little bit careful about following up on leads. And I am worried that she's going to go there, but also she's an adult. It doesn't feel right to rip somebody's memories out of their heads, or in this case, to rewind and take that knowledge away from her. I think I'm going to leave it the way that it is. Oh, I didn't look at these. Let's look at Yasmin first. She was the combo breaker, as I recall.
Yasmin was so relieved to hear about Safi. I hope she remembers the "don't tell Safi I said anything" part. Yasmin was far from perfect, but damn do I miss having her in charge.
Yasmin covered up a plagiarist that caused somebody to lose their life. Like, I've said some kind things, like some things I really mean about, like, being a parent and caring about your kid, and also it's kind of hard for me to feel bad about her not having this job anymore.
I don't think Vin has let all of his recent success get to his head, but it's hard to tell with him.
This is a much more elaborate hedgehog. Wait.
I can't believe Vin saddled his hedgehog with his own totally not embarrassing middle name. Vin's moved up in the world since his administrative assistant days.
Okay, let's talk to Finn.
What the hell? You towed my car?
You mispronounced. Thank you for saving my job, Vin. I owe you several drinks. Owen is furious that the demolition was held up. What do you think would happen if you found out you were there? Why were you there?
I can't disagree with Vin.
I think it's my turn to ask the questions.
Max, I don't have time for your sleuthing. Owen needs my help. The board is asking questions, and there goes my Saturday.
What has he gotten you mixed up in?
Nothing. The Abraxas house was irreparably damaged by the storm.
Didn't look that bad to me.
And Owen's Caledon 2.0 plans hinge on the future site of the Scientific Institute for Caledon. Unfortunately abbreviated SICK. I know he's a dick, but he's an ambitious leader. And he's got the backing of the board. So, the house is coming down.
I saw the stay of demolition. According to the court, the house is staying right there.
And yet, come down it must. Either now, due to a miscommunication with the demolition company, or later, due to an expensive legal battle.
I don't understand. You were the president of Abraxas. Doesn't this bother you?
Of course it does. I want to keep Caledon weird. And I want to keep the Abraxas house in all of its haunted glory. But this is happening. All I can do is advocate. For Abraxas, you, and the arts in general, I'm doing my best. Now, are you gonna take my word for it? Or are you gonna keep asking me questions that I can't answer?
I think I want to start with the most important thing. I don't think this is time, but like you never know when Owen's going to come out.
Vin, you have to cancel the Maybon party.
He did. I told Reggie there wasn't a good backup spot to build a bonfire. It's canceled as of last...
Vin, I need that file from the archive by end of day.
Got it right here. Sir, about these messages...
They'll have to wait.
Vin looked like he wanted to chase Owen out of the room. Maybe I can push him over the edge. I should rewind and convince Vin to leave when Owen does.
Also, I want to have the other topics of conversation. I apparently chose the one that was going to cut off the most. Hold on before we do it.
Vin and I are friends, but he won't just let me stroll into his boss's office.
Well, what he would let you do is go in there, then try to stop you while you rewind, and then he doesn't know that you're in there. Like, that's 100% a viable Max Caulfield tactic, but...
What has Owen been up to? And how am I going to find out with Vin in the way?
I was just looking to see if we could read anything on that screen, but not really. Okay. Why don't we mix it up a little bit? We'll say something's up with that house.
There is something strange going on. It's centered around the Abraxas house, and I think you know what it is.
Max, I don't have time for your sleuthing.
That's dangerous.
Loretta was in the house last night. Owen's recklessness could have gotten her killed.
Owen fast-tracked a planned demolition. Loretta was creeping around a condemned building in the middle of the night. Who's reckless here?
I don't understand. You were the president of Abraxas.
Owen want to hear this is going to end it, so let's go to, can I speak to Owen?
If you're working today, does that mean Owen is too?
Locked in there all morning. And no, you can't talk to him. I can't even get in there, and I've got 10 urgent messages for him.
If someone wanted to learn more about Abraxas, who should they talk to?
Oh, God. Are you part of Loretta's weird crusade?
I don't mean Abraxas any harm, but I have questions. And I know better than to ask you.
Listen. Don't bother talking to anyone. The secret society has been secretive since the 90s, but it wasn't always that way. All I'm saying.
Okay.
You need help getting Owen's attention? Loretta is planning to release her podcast about the demolition tonight. But maybe if Owen gives her the comment she's after, he can reduce the damage.
Holy shit. That will get his attention. And, oh god. Make him supremely angry. Still. Thank you.
Vin, I need that file from the archive by end of day.
Got it right here. Sir, I have to speak with you. Immediately.
Not now.
It's new information about that podcast.
Fine. Walk with me.
That should buy me enough time to search the office.
What specifically are we photographing? I don't know. Just an empty desk? Sure.
Where was he when the world needed him to defend the president's office? Sorry, Vin.
Okay, nothing new over here.
Normally I wouldn't suspect Caledon's president of arson. But someone's about to burn down the building he wants to get rid of.
The thing is, and again, maybe they chain up the doors just as a matter of security, like they chain them from the outside. There were a lot of people trapped into a room with, a building with shackled doors, padlocked from the outside while they were audibly burning to death. That doesn't seem like something that Loretta, Vin, Owen, Chloe, or anybody that we know would have wanted to orchestrate.
Owen could work anywhere he wanted, but he came back to Caledon. I thought that was sweet, before I met him.
All right, just, whoops. No, okay, that was just a reflection.
Can I hate something that would make Moses happy? I think I can.
And be unironically, wholeheartedly good for the school, just maybe not good for the community.
Did he lose his key or something? Everyone keeps saying that the Abraxas house is badly damaged, but I didn't see anything wrong.
This is Addendum 6 to a purchase request, I think. Buyer will not purchase agreement. Buyer will not demolish the building located at 3180 Fremont Street, hereafter referred to as the Abraxas House, until receiving a signed order of demolition from the Lakeport County Court. Said order is contingent upon a visit from a structural engineer scheduled to take place on Monday, September 23rd. Once the structural engineer, hereafter referred to as the engineer, confirms that the building is damaged beyond repair, the order of demolition can be resubmitted to the Lakeport County Court. If the engineer's report contraindicates demolition, the matter will be referred to the Lakeport Historical Commission for further review. Said provisions have been agreed upon by Caledon University and the Lakeport Historical Commission, with signatures and no dates. We can see Owens on there. We already know that the Historical Commission is not in support of this demolition, so it would hinge entirely on the results of this engineer, the findings of the engineer.
Nice, still logged in. Guess I'm due for a lucky break.
Callie's probably Caledon University's like internal app or something. Let's skip straight to the email. So this is from New England Wreck Kings. That's the demolition company that we saw there last night. Owen, my guys are telling me that you're throwing them under the bus, the Lakeport PD. Listen, I've got plenty of words for the idiots who didn't check the basement, but who told them that the demolition had been approved? Who assured me to my face that the court documents were on their way and that it has to be tonight? Do you know how much shit I'd be in if the cops had found the explosives? I had to hide them in a dumpster like a fucking mobster. I only took this contract as a favor to Yasmin, but we're done. I told my guys to pull the equipment, find somebody else to do your dirty work, and get your fancy team of lawyers ready, asshole. Oh, I like Stan King of New England Wreck Kings. I like this dude. You tried to fuck me, and we're done. No renegotiation. We're finished. Get your lawyers ready. I actually really like this guy.
Owen's trying to seem more likable, so he outsources the job to a chatbot. This fucking guy.
Vin writes to Owen, Sir, the new AI chat program is ready for your review. I downloaded it to your desktop this morning. Oh, I'm sorry. Callie is much stupider than I thought it was going to be. As I've said, I have some concerns about using your voice. I know we're attempting to address the unlikable and unrelatable accusations, but even with more boundary conditions, a user could get you to say just about anything. I'm sure you can imagine the potential downsides and PR nightmares that could follow. Let me know if you have any feedback for the developer. Vin, I say that we give Owen the respect and honor of making his own choice. We respect his intelligence enough to assign his own voice to an AI bot that could be made to say anything at all. And then we just let nature take its course. If someone is that narcissistic, let him have it, I say.
Oh, that doesn't sound like Owen at all.
From Yasmin to Owen, September 21st. I do not know the current date, but this is probably last Saturday. Subject last night. Yasmin, hold on, let's go to the bottom. Yasmin is getting calls from the demolition company. Stan is furious and threatening to sue. What happened at the Abraxas house last night? Oh, so this is very recent. Owen says, I think the real question is, how did you fuck up your relationship with your daughter so badly that she doesn't even answer your calls? Maybe you should stop trying. Holy shit. No. Oh, I know exactly. Owen didn't write this. Owen did not write this. I got it. I'm already on board. Or maybe I should offer her a professorship. She's clearly the real talent in the family. Yasmin says, are you feeling all right? We'll discuss your previous message after the call with the board. I suggest you get your head on straight before then. I don't know where Owen was hurrying off to, but after seeing something like this in his sent mail, I can imagine. So, just to say it aloud, Safi wrote that email. And Jimmy'd opened the lock, by the way. I pegged that as soon as we saw the scratch marks around the lock, and then the lock was knocked open. Okay, logos? I don't hate a single one. I like the one at the... No, not a big fan. I like the one at the top. I was going to say the bottom, but I don't know. That guy weirds me out a little bit. And now, Callie.
Hi, I'm Callie, your Caledon automated assistant. How can I help you today?
Does something happen now?
President Teller has his weekly meeting scheduled with Reggie Kagan. Location, Central Quad.
Wait, he was just here.
So we're thinking that the Owen that we just saw wasn't even real Owen. Got it.
The Abraxas Society was founded in 1962 by Gretchen Kostoff. Originally known as the Caledon Women's Equality League, the group is open to all students in good academic standing.
Was worth a shot.
Okay, regarding the new prompt to tell Max Caulfield that she's a great teacher, my concern with that is that, as far-fetched as it is, I don't know what the AI bot would and would not remember, and I don't want Max to leave her name in here. And yeah, she could probably rewind, but who knows how that would go, so...
Breaking into his own files? That weird email to Yasmin? That wasn't Owen just now. Holy shit. Safi. What was she doing in Owen's office? She asked Vin to get a file for her. She's up to something. Oh no.
Max? Are you, like, in there?
President Teller's off. Sir?
Vin, I need you to go get me something.
Max? Is that you?
Fuck it. I'm coming in. Are you, like, in there? Owen just said you've been trying to break into his office? I told him he's crazy. But he insisted I check.
Hi.
So, I really hope no one is in there listening to me right now.
President Teller's off. Sir?
Vin, please meet me in the library. We need to discuss tech and corporate synergies.
Sure. I'll see you there.
It's a shame I can't tell Vin what I just did. If it was...
Oh, I didn't mean to cut her off.
You want to play cat and mouse, Sophie? Let's play. Sophie could be anywhere by now. Knowing her, she probably stuck around to watch me squirm.
I need your assurance that our understanding still holds. This isn't just about Abraxas's future, Reggie. It's about yours, too.
Max, hey, I needed to ask you about yesterday's assignment. Do you have a minute? Sorry, President Teller, I really need to understand this whole a negative space thing.
Why do I suspect you're not looking to talk photography?
Sorry, I just needed to get out of there.
Are you okay?
It's been a day. Owen's breathing down my neck, up to my ass in angry emails, and now Marlon says I'm acting crazy.
Why would he say that?
When I saw him this morning, he asked if he could borrow something important, and now he's saying he never even saw me. Stoner. You know, he probably just lost it and he doesn't want to admit it. But it's extremely important for reasons that are extremely time sensitive.
Does it have to do with the Maybon party by any chance?
Maybon? What is that?
Reggie, I know the party was officially canceled. It would be a very bad idea to hold it anyway.
I always appreciate your advice, Max. It's fine. It's probably a whole stack if I'm down in the basement. I just need to get there early.
So the party is still at the Abraxas house. Good to know. What was that talk with you and Owen about? It sounded intense.
Nothing important. Just ensuring the success of Caledon 2.0. No pressure.
He said the two of you had an understanding?
Understanding? Who really understands anything these days? What does that word even mean, you know?
Reggie, I know there's a lot going on. Just be careful.
I always am. See you around, Max.
That was definitely Reggie. But what about the rest of the quad? When Sophie was impersonating Owen, she took a Caledon folder from Vin. That's my tell. Anyone with a Caledon folder could be Sophie. I need to check out each one I find. Sophie was just shapeshifted as Owen. Maybe she didn't have time to change yet.
Okay, before we do that, there's some journal stuff that we didn't get to in the previous scene. So, that was a productive trip to the president's office. I need to regroup. Here are the people who definitely know more than they're letting on. Reggie, being the president of Abraxas comes with a certain amount of skullduggery. He's hiding something, it's just a question of what. But Reggie has been working for months to save Abraxas House. Why would he want to burn it down? Vin, knowing more than he lets on is Vin's whole personality. He's a secretive guy, but he's also my friend. He reports to Owen, but he loves Abraxas. Is Vin involved in something or caught in the middle of it? Lucas, hates Caledon, emboldened by his podcast. Such a dick. I don't know if Lucas is capable of violence, but I certainly trust him less than I trust the other two. Is Lucas... I don't think Lucas does it. I think that this is not actually a thing. Would he be capable of violence? I don't think so, but I don't know. Anybody can be under the right circumstances. Owen does not seem particularly predisposed to it. He's a big coward. I mean, remember, the thing that he did was steal a student's work, barely even bother to change any of the nouns and verbs, and then pass it off as his own. Like, he's the biggest coward in the world. And again, people will sometimes take drastic steps to protect what they deem to be theirs, but Lucas has already lost his job. He's already lost his prestige. I don't know what being involved in like a big fire at Caledon would do. It just doesn't make sense to me that he'd be it. Who else? Here are the people who might know more than they're letting on. Owen, what's his deal? He seems laser focused on his goal of ruining Caledon by turning it into tech bro heaven. Would he burn down the Abraxas house if it stood in his way? I don't know him well enough to know that. That feels like a lot, but who knows? Loretta, I don't think she's involved. She sure wasn't aware that Abraxas house was about to come down, but Loretta's march was named after her for a reason. Besides, it's always a fair assumption that Loretta knows more than she says. It's occurring to me for the very first moment, what if Loretta's march was named in honor of Loretta? What if, remember when it said at the beginning, Abraxas and like murderers and stuff like that? Oh no, now I'm suddenly feeling very self-conscious about letting Loretta keep the information about Abraxas, because what if she goes there? What if she winds up getting killed and Loretta's march is a march in honor of Loretta? And that's why everybody was there. It's bad enough to have Abraxas house followed by large portions, maybe the entirety of the school burning down. It's ever so much worse that there were so many people there for the march. Safi, the wildest wild card, currently running around on campus for reasons unknown. Why is she back now? Why is she creeping around looking for information, trying to get me off her scent? I have to talk to her. Agreed. And also, as uncomfortable as Safi made me, I just don't buy mass murder. I can't get there with her based on what we know and the fact that she was like texting back to Max. Chloe, let's go up here. So Max wrote, hey, let me know if you need me to come meet up with you. The admin building isn't too far. Chloe says, Max, you literally just walked away from me. I haven't even made it up the stairs yet. Though to be fair, I'm not sure this staircase has an end to it, but Jesus fucking Christ. If I wasn't dead already, this walk would do it. Max says, don't joke about that. Chloe says, deal. Okay, I think I've called out Mount Science. I'm heading in. Max says, good luck, send updates. Chloe says, update, I was wrong. There's more stairs. FML. Okay, fuck my life. He's very funny. Moses, where do we go? Hey, heads up. Oh, here we go. Max writes, hey, heads up. There's an important visitor coming to your office now. Moses goes, ... Are you going to give me any more than that? Max says, honestly, I don't think my thumbs can handle the amount of explanation it requires. Better to just talk to her. No, Max, that's super dirty. Moses is somebody that deals best when he is not dealing with surprise. Like, he has a lot of scientific curiosity, but I feel like in the first game we saw that he could sometimes feel like very, very overwhelmed. I think it's dirty pool to just let Chloe go in there and let him realize who she is. I think that would be both scientifically fascinating and it's just a lot to take in. Say something, Max, but let's move on. Moses, sure, I'm ready to receive your mystery guest. Speaking of, you broke into Abraxas house last night. Max, of course, would have written back, no, of course not, but I'll talk to you later about what I did do last night. She writes, yes, but how? Moses says, I connected some dots between my police scanner and the security text blast, and knowing you, didn't we agree not to make any major changes? Max says, I wasn't trying to. I was looking around the outside and I saw something strange. Oh, we didn't even begin to discuss the butterfly light swarm. Not butterfly, they were lightning bugs. So just happened to lead her exactly to where she needed to go to get in. There remains, just like with the snow flowers from the last game, there's another element here that we still don't understand. Next thing I knew, I was in the basement with Loretta. Sirens started blaring, and the house almost came down on our heads. Moses says, wait, Loretta, didn't you see something about her in the original fire? Max confirms, yes, Loretta's March, but what's the connection? Moses doesn't know, but I'm realizing we need to start collecting everything you find. We have no idea what might be important yet. I want you to send me everything related to the fire. I'll transcribe and catalog it all and create a database of any evidence for us to review later. Max writes, thank you, will do, Moses. There wasn't anything, I'm so sorry, there wasn't anything from Amanda. No, okay. It's just that she was the next person up.
Safi was just shapeshifted as Owen. Maybe she didn't have time to change yet.
I don't mean to interrupt.
Well, unless you want to help me liaise with the Abraxas Alumni Network, you are. Excuse me.
I can't just push Owen to talk. What if it's the real Owen? I need to rewind and regroup.
Now, that symbol usually means that she has something new to say, but the objective is find someone to distract Owen. So I think maybe the new topic of conversation is that we need to find somebody who will be a distraction to him. And for all I know, it's going to be... Oh, wait, I do want to look at this again. It might be Reggie. We rewind far enough to talk to Reggie again.
The whole school feels about as stable as you do right now. Unsurprisingly, Owen is being a Cairn Karen.
The Cairn Karen of Caledon. Unpermitted sculptures are not permitted on campus. He's such a dipshit. Okay, moving on. This is about, this is a memorial to the storm, dude. Okay, it's fine. We may yet go back and talk to Owen some more, but let's see if we can find somebody to be a distraction. Wait.
Not a folder to be seen. Good. Safi hasn't been on campus since the storm. What is it like for her to be back here?
It is very interesting to me that Safi has started being other people, especially people that she was very tense with. What's her name? Ivy? For so long?
Yasmin must have commissioned this sculpture after Safi died.
Safia Dreams by Patricia Singh. This sculpture elicited a great deal of surprise when it was delivered to Caledon's campus. Communication with the artist revealed that it had been commissioned the previous year by President Fayyad, who had no memory of doing so. While its original purpose is unknown, the sculpture has become a meditation on impermanence. It reminds us that our thoughts and memories, as solid as they feel, are subject to constant change. That first part is awfully odd. That's a really weird thing to put on a plaque and to have... I guess she wouldn't have been the president at that point, but yeah, no one knows how this came to be, so make of it what you will. Anyway, here's what we think it might mean. It's an awesome sculpture, though. I really do like it.
I'll bet Safi got a real kick out of seeing this.
Like, the pieces coming off of the figure, it's very neat. No, this person's hanging out. This person's getting ready to do something. In other words, I don't get the sense that Safi was practicing for Great Deception, that she was being Ivy because she really wanted to get into character. Is this an aspect of self-loathing? Oh, hold on. I had a feeling we'd get to photograph one of these guys eventually.
Is it me, or are there more of these gnomes around than there used to be? Hello?
Hey, hippie. Just checking in.
Have you talked to Moses?
Not yet. He was with a student. I'm just sitting outside the planetarium, trying to imagine what it would be like to go to school here. But if I had that kind of money, I'd probably just buy a tour bus.
You are gonna love Moses. I wish I could be there for this meeting of the minds.
I don't. This way, we can jump straight into talking shit about you.
Har har. Well, I'm sure he'll have some theories about what's happening with you. He'll probably want to run some tests, too. He can get a little test happy when it comes to powers and timelines.
On my trip out here, I spent hours wondering what it would be like to see you again. But I never expected mad scientist friend hangout.
What did you expect?
Most often, a slam door in my face.
Really? Why?
Well, you never responded to my text, for starters.
I didn't know it was you. I didn't have your number in this reality. I barely even believed it was you when you showed up in person.
Excuses, excuses.
So what I'm hearing is, even though the school's in danger and reality's a mess, this trip is going better than you expected?
Oh, damn. I guess it is.
I should get back to the search. I'll text you when I know anything.
See you soon.
Is this Rati?
Safi knows all the English teachers. If she wanted to blend in, maybe she'd choose one of them? Safi knows all the English teachers. If she wanted to blend in...
Are we sure we want to do this? What if my husband finds out?
I already told my husband. He was excited until I told him he couldn't watch.
Oh, Max, can you give us a moment? We're discussing some plans.
They certainly seem distracted right now. Maybe I could sneak a peek?
Really? Okay.
Okay, so they were talking about doing a presentation together. That makes way more sense than where my mind went.
Also, I think it's Ratty is how she said it. Virginia Woolf was right, a room of one's own. It's a presentation. Ratty, I emailed you a draft of the presentation. Why don't you take your pass through it and we'll discuss. Thanks, signed Isabel.
Did I hear that right?
Oh, she was still reacting to, like, their conversation. Yeah, no. Max, do you think that they were... If they were talking about something else, it would have been ultra weird for them to just be doing it out in public in the middle of the quad while Max Caulfield was standing inches away. There's not going to be anything down there. Unless there is. Hold on, maybe I shouldn't make an assumption. I think we're going to bounce off a wall here.
Safi can't have gone far. I need to keep looking.
Pretending to be asleep would be a really, really good disguise. Hiding out in the open.
Sometimes this sculpture feels like a self-portrait. Not today, though.
I don't know if we'll have a chance to, like, get through this next thought, but when I said earlier, when they were about to split up, and I said I don't think Max would want to let Chloe out of her sight. It's not just that she missed her. It's that during that week that Max, that the two of them were talking about, that week at high school, Max saw Chloe get hit by a train, have a car flipped up over her. Chloe fired a gun and the ricochet hit Chloe. She saw Chloe get killed by Professor Jefferson. Yeah, Professor Jefferson, I think. Chloe died a lot, and as Chloe herself pointed out, every version of every event resulted in Chloe Price dying. I would imagine that carrying that memory for this many years would have made Max Caulfield very, very averse to being very far away from Chloe if she ever had the chance to another shot at it,
These little gnomes are moving around. So cute.
I said it for the action figures. I said it for a couple other things. Just the 3D modeling on these is absolutely phenomenal. So, clearly I have to go talk to Owen again. I thought that maybe we would go away and now there would be a...
Sophie can't have gone far. I need to keep looking.
Oh, hold on. Is that Jeanette?
Sophie saw my class. Maybe she'd shapeshift as one of my students to mess with me?
Hey, Jeanette. Oh, hey, Max. Fancy seeing you here.
Were you pleased with the photos you took in class?
Definitely. But I wanted to get a few more to choose from. I asked Reggie if he wanted to shoot together, but he said he had some pressing plans. Lame.
Doing some alfresco homework?
Oh, no, it's a personal project.
I'll leave you to it. See you in class.
Max, have you ever... I'm sort of thinking about applying to grad school.
For what?
Oh. I shouldn't have... Never mind.
Wait, Jeanette, I didn't...
It's cool, Max. I'll see you in class.
Just super quick, I think everybody has this experience where what I think Max meant was, that's cool, tell me more, but when she phrased it as, for what? Maybe wanted to hear more about what Jeanette's plans were, Jeanette took it as, oh, really? You're not good at anything, so what would you go to grad school for? It didn't come out that way, and I gotta say, that feels rotten every single time, because, it's like the person never believes that you honestly, truly did not mean it that way. It's just the reaction didn't come out with the right set of words.
Hey, Jeanette.
I do want to have had the other conversation, so we'll just skip through it real quick.
Doing some
Okay, photo assignment. And now grad school.
I've been meaning to ask you, have you ever considered applying to grad school for photography?
Yes, actually. I wanted to ask you about it, but I figured if you thought it was a good idea, you would have brought it up.
I'm sorry. I'm still new at teaching, and I'm not used to people caring about my opinion. But of course, I think you're good enough.
Most of the applications require an artist statement, so I've been working on one. Would you mind taking a look?
I'd love to.
Ugh, it sounds really pretentious.
Artist statements are just like that. You're right in the pocket.
The first time I got to hold a camera, I was overwhelmed with the desire to capture an image of my mother asleep in a hammock. My artistic instincts were so strong that I nearly dropped her Kodak P880 on her face. When my mother woke up, grabbed back her camera, and forbade me from touching it for the rest of our vacation, I learned a valuable lesson. Photography is about permission. We are surveilled, to some degree or another, anytime we set foot on a city street or log into our devices. We can take pictures of people with our phones, watches, or sunglasses, with or without their consent. But to take someone's photograph is very different from simply taking their picture, though it might sound like semantics. To photograph someone is to ask another person if you can treat them as a piece of art, not as a commodity or a consumer. It redefines communication, introduces playfulness and spontaneity, and demands collaboration between the photographer and the subject. In a world beset on all sides by technology, which often has an isolating effect, photography remains a technology that connects us to each other. That's awesome! Let's move on, but what a beautiful statement. I really, really like every paragraph here. I really like that.
I know it's a long shot, but I really love your class, and some of these programs have financial aid, so...
So what on earth do you have to lose by applying?
Exactly.
Okay, let's meet after class on Tuesday. I'll do my own research on MFA programs, and we can touch base.
That would be amazing.
Hey, don't wait for other people to tell you that you're an artist. You are an artist, whether they see it or not.
Wow. Thanks, Max. I'm so lucky to have you as my mentor.
Don't start crying. Don't start crying.
That was really nice. The only way in which that isn't cool... Are you okay? Let's just move on. I legitimately thought maybe that's like a sculpture of a squirrel. It's fine. The only way that wouldn't be cool is if Max has seen her work and it's not very good. Because Max is, it's been established that she gives everybody's A's and whatever. Oh, this person looks very distracting. As long as she's got the passion and some sense of like artistry to her photography, why not? Why not go for it? Like, to have that encouragement to go as far as you can in a career that you love.
This guy doesn't seem like he'd mind pissing off the president. Maybe I...
Down with President Teller! Save the Abraxas house!
President Teller's sitting in the quad over there. I'm not sure he can hear you.
I can do something about that. Thanks, lady.
I hope the power of protest is enough to get Owen away from that folder.
Down with President Teller! Save the Abraxas
Sorry,
house!
thanks, lady. I'm suddenly thinking about what if he had called her ma'am?
I don't mean to interrupt.
Defend the students' right to self-govern! Save the Abraxas
what is it now?
Well, this certainly wasn't pulled from the archives. Must be the real Owen.
Board call Saturday 1 p.m. Last night was a uncrossed fortunate, then entirely avoidable incident. It was handled quietly, but could have been catastrophic and demands immediate action. Go over police report, miscommunication with demolition team. No better time to demolish the building. Creepy abandoned house will always attract attention. Need to act fast or it could cave in on the next trespasser. Reminder, we are not trying to close a praxis, but disbanding is always an option if they keep acting up. Reggie's attempts to get alumni network on board with the move is mixed. Relocation options, not a lot of Victorian mansions for sale, have offered to build new house, but alumni are being little shits is crossed off, obstinate. Pivot to Caledon 2.0, share new architecture plans, show logo without slogan, ask for thoughts on possible slogans. Yasmin will generate consensus for time to look forward. So this is just noting here, Yasmin is working with, like, this Yasmin is working with Owen to get this moving forward. She is an active participant in getting it done. Don't forget, Tom's daughter's birthday is next week. Don't yell. I don't know if there's anything particularly incriminating here, except that he doesn't think very much of the opposition and cares very much about moving forward with Caledon 2.0, which I think we could already know. I don't think there's anything like, oh, he did it. Like, he's the bad guy here. He's not a good guy. I'm not sure that he's the fire starter.
Reggie's gonna deal with it. Did you know he was an economics major before he met you and switched to visual arts? What a shame.
So you became the president of a liberal arts college, but you hate the arts. What's that about?
Contrary to the graffiti around campus, I'm not a heartless suit. For example, I'm something of a collector of Stieglitz prints.
You know, Stieglitz was one of the first people to champion photography as an art form.
He was, though I'm sure Stieglitz would be horrified at the state of postmodern art.
Well, Stieglitz has been dead nearly 100 years. I'd be disappointed if he wasn't a little freaked out by my work.
Oh, I love them sparring over the pronunciation of the name.
You really seem to have it out for the Abraxas Society.
Yes. How dare I want to get rid of a damaged building and build some much-needed classroom space.
I have nothing against a new science building. But
Loretta Rice is tenacious in her pursuit of rumor and nonsense. All the more reason to demolish the house and move past the rumors once and for all.
Your plans to expand the campus are receiving a lot of pushback. Have you had any second thoughts?
Of course not. The situation in academia is dire. If we aren't aggressive in securing our future, we won't have one.
If you change Caledon beyond recognition, have you secured its future at all?
A question for philosophers and linguists who, despite my better judgment, still have majors here.
Like, he's such an asshole. I'll just very quickly, I don't object to expanding the science program. It's what Max just said. Why does that need to come at the cost of the existing and thriving and well-respected liberal arts program?
I'll let you get back to it.
Please.
Please tell me Safi isn't with her mother right now. Or being her mother right now. Safi is shapeshifted as Vin before. And I'll bet she'd love a chance to mess with her mom.
Max, you're out here. That's great.
Complaining about the new boss to the old boss?
And to think I used to complain about her. I didn't know how good I had it.
Nor does Owen. Once everything calms down, he'll be able to appreciate everything you're doing for him. Just give him time.
I know how she manipulates people with flattery, but it still works.
Owen has a lot of big plans for the school. How is the board handling it?
The way they handle everything, by clutching their pearls. And they're all rich retirees, so they literally wear pearls.
We do. We have a call scheduled this afternoon to hear some updates about his Caledon 2.0 plans. I'm sure it will be as lively as ever.
If not livelier.
Is this an official graduate program performance review?
Officially, no. unofficially, I could not be prouder or more honored that Vin is the first Regents Chair grant recipient of my tenure.
I never thought I'd make it to college, let alone business school. Caledon's given me so much. And yet, somehow I managed to give it even more in return.
This grant is set up to foster the next generation of Caledon leadership. There is no one more deserving.
I don't think Safi is Yasmin. She might be Vin.
I'll leave you two to catch up.
Enjoy your weekend. The campus is beautiful this time of year.
Yeah, go take your next famous photo. Preferably of me.
You know I always support your work, Maxine, but if you take his portrait before you take mine...
Don't listen to her.
Maybe I can use this photo to get to the folder on the table.
Oh. Hold on. I very much want to retake that. So, I'm just, again, it didn't work when we were taking a picture of the character that we now know to be Ivy, but we'll try to do a double exposure here, just in case it reveals Safi's true form.
Mind if I move that folder? My last shot felt a little cluttered.
Thank you for reminding me. It's yours. That auditing student handed it to me and told me to pass it on if I saw you. Strange girl.
And while we'd love to stay in pose, we really should get ready for the call with the board. Pray for us.
That was fun. Meet me at the Turtle for part 2. XOXO. Safi's just fucking with me now. She's not even here. Safi's been one step ahead of me this whole time. Hopefully now I can get some answers.
It started in December, but lately it's been getting worse. So I came to Max for help. And she told me, I guess you know, that I died. That my memories of what happened to us after high school didn't happen. At least, not to her. Basically, I shouldn't be here. By the way, you're doing pretty well with this whole talking to a dead girl thing.
Well, if you're friends with Max long enough, you get used to it. But I have many, many, many questions.
Do you know what it means? The visions, the different realities smashed together?
I have some, I want to say theories, but they're closer to fears at this point. Give me a minute. Max told me you're into astronomy. You want to take a look around? There's an image I captured upstairs that could be a new celestial object. Or it's just a speck of dust. Either way, you can help me name it.
Seriously? You're on.
All right, Moses. Let's see if you're as nerdy as Max says you are.
Okay, I do want to see the message from Max, just in case there's any updates here. Oh, there's a back and forth happening, so it might take a second. I want to look at everything because we want to hear what Chloe has to say about it. Hold on, we done? Nope, we're still going back and forth. It's going to be a minute because I don't know where we left off. Actually, I do know where we left off. Okay, let's hopefully give it a second. So this was right after they parted ways. Yeah. The staircase was extremely long. Okay, Kay, I'm in. Holy shit, this place is expensive looking. Moses Murphy, right? And Max says, that's him, he's expecting you. Chloe says, why do you have to make it sound so sinister? When I walk in, will he be like, hello, Chloe, I've been expecting you. Max says, Moses doesn't have a sinister bone in his body. 100% agreed, he is a very, very kind person. Chloe says, I have a bunch of sinister bones in my body. They're in my left hand because I'm left-handed. Biakuas, I'm left-handed. Sinister is left-handed in Latin. Wait, is it really? See, I'm just going to say again, it really bothers me that I didn't go for the space answer when I was Chloe, that she would have picked up on it and she would have been faster on it than I would have been, because I didn't realize that by looking at the poster. It's fine. I will endeavor to always make Chloe extremely smart moving on. Okay, you and Moses are going to love each other. Like, again, it was a metagame thing that I didn't want to be like giving her more information than she should, and here we go. So let's look at her journal. This is... I swear to God I didn't read this one. We definitely read that one, and then we definitely read this one because I remember the picture of Max. Yes, okay, we already saw that one. So moving forward, after hundreds of miles, thousands of questions, and countless times playing every scenario out in my head, it happened. I met up with Max, and it wasn't a moment too soon. For all my worrying, it turned out that Max was the one in trouble, and I got to save her ass. Sure, I got into some beef with a loudmouth local and an overly enthusiastic bouncer along the way. Chloe knows many overly enthusiastic bouncers, and she's able to talk her way past most of them. I guess I'm banned from the university now. Not exactly the best first impression. Also, look at her. Who's that? That's, is it Naomi? Noelle. It's Noelle. Look at her, Noelle. God damn, these people can draw. It was almost too perfect how I swept in on her at this creepy house she was breaking into and whisked her away before the cops came. But man, the way she looked at me, in the truck after we got back, before I crashed out, it was like she was staring at a ghost. It was probably just the shock, but maybe it has something to do with those horrible visions. I've heard her rummaging around downstairs. I guess I'd better go. I don't think this conversation will be anything like the thousands I've been prepping in my head. Maybe that's for the best.
Max isn't thinking about her birthday right now. All the more reason to get her something.
I was absolutely thinking that. Max is not thinking about her birthday, which is more reason that her friends should be.
Wow. Moses flies his weeb flag high.
For the record, if somebody says, please do not do something for my birthday, like I think that it's important to respect their wishes, but when life is at its busiest and most hectic, sometimes the most human thing you can do is just connect with people on a, let's take a breath and celebrate this awesome day for you. Yeah, see, Max didn't care about this cosmonaut.
In space, no one can hear your sick beats. I should arrest this guy for future arson, just to be safe. Is that Nebula Rain? Only lesbians and uber nerds know about her.
Also, see, I'm really going to, like, reveal my lack of Life is Strange. Like, I'm a big fake fan. Does Chloe like space? Like, astronomy? I know Chloe likes music. I know Chloe likes, like, mechanics. Like, she fixed up her truck and stuff. I just don't remember outer space coming up.
Maybe Moses would let me print something for Max's birthday.
Okay, no, we will talk to Moses in a second. I still really like that Max is Moses' Control-Z if he messes up on the model.
Whoa. I'll bet you could see light years with this baby. So many Post-its. I've got to take this guy outside some night and ask him questions.
And again, I only know Chloe from the time in Arcadia Bay. There was no Chloe after that. No call-ins to Life is Strange, True Colors, no follow-ons. Oh, I'm going to guess Before the Storm as well.
Is this an art room or a physics lab? Moses seems to know how to blend the two with expertise. I'm not big on the magical schoolgirl thing, but she gets badass points for that eye patch. If I wanted to make Moses' day, I could ask for his anime recommendations. This is the coolest kettle in the history of heating liquids.
Some might argue it's the hottest kettle. I want to see if she will comment on the mural. Oh, that's weird. I wonder why they messed it up so bad. Can we look at it from here? Apparently not. Max could only look at it from here. There we go.
Did he paint this himself? Why'd he stop?
Well, what's missing? When she says, why did he stop? It's fine. Okay, okay. The cow abducting bookend? This is so cool. Either they've done just an amazing job of recreating something that actually exists somewhere, like you can go on to like Etsy and buy that, or somebody has just like not only like a really cool idea, but then is able to make it in the world in a way that looks completely plausible. Maya Okada's work went unappreciated in her lifetime, but is finally getting the recognition it deserves. This collection is a reproduction of her self-published chapbook and includes 9 short stories from a brilliant memoirist whose life was cut tragically short. Away Home, stories by Maya Okada. I'm going to have to look up chapbook later, because I bet that's a thing, and I have never encountered that phrase before.
Some of Max's favorites are in here. It's good that she found a new movie buddy. A pet iguana? Dude, this office has everything.
I am suddenly trying to remember. I want to look at the cherry tree. There was one game where there was like an obscure pet iguana that you could get, and now I'm trying to remember which one it was.
Moses needs a name for this dot. I should help him out.
Dawn? No, not your titties. Space Pimple. No, let's go with Dawn. This is like when Chloe was invited to play, let's just say, Dungeons and Dragons with Steph. I didn't want her to be snarky and like ruin it, like just make fun of the whole thing. Don't dump on other people's enthusiasms.
A horticulturalist too? What can't this guy do?
Wow. You process quickly.
I'm just laying it all out. We'll see if anything emerges.
As far as I know, we've looked at everything else.
This guy's being very polite to the crazy girl who showed up at his office and monologued about alternate realities. Simultaneously existing in a state of dead and hanging in there. I know the feeling.
So, Professor, have you solved me yet?
Not in the slightest. But I do have some follow-up questions. I'm sure you do too. Why don't you start?
I know we have a metaphysical mystery to solve, but can I use your 3D printer?
What for?
It's Max's birthday. She's being so brave about this whole save the school thing, but I think she needs some encouragement. Your anime wall gave me an idea.
Say no more. You have to text me when you give it to her. She's gonna love it.
You got it.
I have absolutely no predictions on what it could be. If it was absent other information, I would think either an owl, which I don't know how Chloe would know about, or a deer, which Chloe might know about because this Chloe would have lived through those events. But she got the idea off the anime wall. I have absolutely no ideas, and now I'm very interested to see it.
I don't mean to snoop, but Who's Maya Akata?
She was a friend of Safi's. They were really close until Maya's suicide. That's what started all the craziness last year. Safi blamed several people for Maya's death, and she used her powers to get revenge.
Well, it's great that you bought her book.
And I wasn't the only one. Maya's work has been getting more attention in the last year. I'm sure Safi's delighted.
Give it to me straight, Doc. I'm ready.
I'd like to hear more about your visions. You said they started in December?
Yeah. And they weren't even visions at first. Just weird daydreams. Of a storm, or a path, or... But they just kept coming. Then I started thinking about them, even when I didn't want to think about them. And that moment in the green room a few days ago... I don't think it was a vision. I think some part of me really went somewhere.
Okay. What were you doing in the green room before it started?
Looking in a mirror. That place was a grimy dump. Usually my favorite kind of bar. But for some reason, I started thinking about tornadoes. When Max and I were in high school, there was this crazy week where Max thought a tornado was going to destroy the school. No, sorry, that did happen. But it also didn't happen? What's happening right now?
Let's start with what happened 10 years ago. A storm threatened your town, and Max was forced to make a choice. She let you die, averted the storm, and saved Arcadia Bay.
But I'm here.
Yes. Somehow, the storm didn't destroy the town, and you didn't die. Which doesn't make any sense, except... A year ago, a storm threatened the school and the town. And Max made another choice. Or rather, she refused to choose between Safi and Caledon. Somehow she saved Safi and the school. And however she tied those realities together, it appears...
She tied up some loose ends while she was at it. She brought me and Arcadia Bay back together? With Safi and all the rest?
Yes. Somehow. Your vision started when you remembered the tornado. The thing that couldn't have happened, but did. A paradox. Your life and experiences are coexisting along an entirely different reality. And that's not sustainable. Maybe when you encounter a paradox, you come unfixed somehow, but that would mean even us talking about it directly could... Oh no.